All right. Thank you, Gloria. Okay.
Hi, my name is Rochelle Marshall. Sorry, my camera's not working today, but I work with Conservation Law Foundation. I'm their representative attending today. I'm a legal intern there for the summer, and I've been working on our case developing sort of methane-based tree damage, and so I'm here just to rep that group and take our squad over there. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Rochelle. All right. Anyone else here? Oh, I
Hi.
see.
Yeah,
Mara?
I'll go
Yes.
next. Yeah. Hi. I was at the symposium last month, which was so great to be at. My name is Amar Chittenden. I work with Mass Audubon, and I've been a fellow there for the last over a year. I work very closely with Erica Holm, who's also on this call, and recently was just hired as the community engagement coordinator to be working on the tree alliance with the city of Boston and following Boston's urban forest plan. And I'm really excited to work more on that project and learn more from all of you and just get to know all of you more. And I myself am a Brighton resident and just really excited to be in this space with you all.
All right. Well, thank you and welcome to your first Buff meeting, Amara. And congratulations on your work that you'll be doing with Erica and on the Alliance. That's pretty awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Jacinda, have you been to our meetings before? Good morning. Would you like to introduce yourself? You're on mute.
Sorry, I had something covering the mute button. It wouldn't let me click it. But no, I have not been in these meetings before. I'm very glad to be here. Yeah, I think my first just introduction to Speak for the Trees has just been the tree walk and then the symposium. So yeah, very glad to be here. I am Jacinda with Codman Square Neighborhood Development Corporation and their Conservation and Clean Energy Fellow.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Jacinda. All right. So let's oh yeah. So you can introduce yourselves in the chat. Thanks, David. Good morning, David, by the way, our executive director. Good morning. All right. So let me share my screen and we'll get right into our meeting. All righty. All right. So our meeting norms are please keep your screens on mute. We do record. If you're comfortable, have your cameras on. If not, that's fine. Please raise your hands if you have questions or put them in the chat. And we will get to your questions and answer them as best as we can. Our agenda items are welcome back. It's been a while since we've come together for our Buff meeting. We skipped June because we had our amazing symposium in June. And it's just really good to be back with you all. Our community updates. We have some updates from Speak for the Trees. We have a Buff survey that we'll put a link up at the end of the meeting, and our next meeting date is September 8th. We don't have any featured speakers right now, so we will just go with our community updates and Speak for the Trees updates, unless anyone specifically has any longer updates that would usually be after the community updates. Just let me know and we'll squeeze you in because we want to hear from everybody. All right, so now we will move into our community update. So please raise your hands and I will call on you to give us an update. All right, Sarah Freeman, you're up first. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Jarrell and everyone. Those of you who are old timers will maybe associate me with the Shattuck Hospital site, which has been in the news recently because after a kind of a long lapse of having received one proposal, the state gave Boston Medical Center a provisional designation to move ahead with their plan for the 13-acre site that was originally part of Franklin Park. This is interesting timing because immediately after this meeting at noon is the first of two public conversations hosted by the Emerald Necklace Conservancy on the topic. I can put a link in the chat. There's another opportunity Monday And then DCAM has already put out a meeting notice for Boston Medical Center to start presenting to the public. So I'll see how much I can fit in the chat. It might be multiple messages, but thank you to anyone who wants to get informed, and whether we agree or disagree, it's, I think, important for the public to have a voice, which could be improved from the past planning, in my view. Thank you.
Thank you as always, Sarah. Appreciate it. Todd, your hand is up next. Good morning.
All right, good morning. Todd Niesor, the Director of Urban Forestry with the City of Boston Parks and Recreation. Just wanted to give a little update about one thing that we're doing. You know, with our urban forest plan, one of our activities was to make sure we're working to proactively care for and preserve trees. And a couple years ago on our webpage, we did put out some information about emerald ash borer infestation in the Boston area, just some informational videos, and came up with a plan to do some injection treatments of trees to help preserve mature trees that might be at the beginning stages of an infestation of the beetle. And so we've started this week we are going to be injecting 1,100 larger ash street trees with a particular chemical that will, again, impede the insects inside the tree and hopefully preserve the life of the tree. Again, this is something that'll have to be repeated over time. But again, it's just one kind of first step we're taking to making sure we're exploring all avenues for preserving the mature tree population that we have. And the whole operation will probably take just about 2 weeks. And when it's done, we will have a filter on our tree inventory, which is on our city webpage, boston.gov/trees. And on that, it'll highlight all the ash trees along the street that we've treated. So you can find if there's any in your neighborhood or whatever. So again, just wanted to share something that we've got going on right now. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Todd. I have a quick question though. When I hear the word inject, does that mean you're using a needle into the tree, and how does that work?
Well, again, it's a contractor that's doing it, but yes, it is. They drill a small hole, and then with a air-powered injection, so the chemical goes into the interior of the tree, the vascular system of the tree. Because the emerald ash borer kind of bores into the bark, and then they feed under the bark. So it'll get into that live tissue of the tree and will be detrimental to the larvae that are in there, the insects that are feeding in the tree.
Right. All right. Thank you, Todd. Learn something new every day. All right. Hi, Dira. Good morning. You're next.
Good morning. So my update, I think for folks who have known me for a while, I've introduced myself as our urban resilience advocate, but I have recently transitioned to a new role at CRWA, and in my new role, I'll be working with our regional collaborative group with the 35, or I guess we have 35 towns and cities in our watershed, but 28 are active in our collaboration. And we recently got funded by the U.S. Forest Service to do a regional tree planting and maintenance plan for our watershed. And so that's kind of coming up in the next couple of years, which will be really exciting. And we know we'll probably have a lot of similarities to what this group has been pushing for with the Municipal Reforestation Act. So I'll be really excited to hear, continue in this group and give any updates on our end as well.
All right. Thank you, Dara. Much appreciated. All right. Any other updates right now from anyone? I don't see any hands. Oh, Erica, there you are.
That hand always goes up. The hand always goes up. Just a couple little updates. Yeah, good morning. So I just wanted to really welcome Amara and announce kind of that we are thinking about the Boston Tree Alliance. And for those who maybe weren't able to watch the recording or be at the Buff Symposium, we are planning to have a meeting in September of this year to talk about the Boston Tree Alliance Alliance for planting and maintenance on private properties in the city of Boston. It's aligned with the urban forest plan that Todd was talking about. So that's one update, is just welcome to Amara. And they haven't actually started that full position yet. They're still in their fellowship, so we won't bombard Amara with everything right now, but just getting familiar with the space. And thank you for being here today, Amara. Another one is that we have the Massachusetts Climate Corps, which is 5 individuals, 5 young people who are about undergrad, and some have graduated from college, who are participating in a youth program this summer for urban ecosystem monitoring. They actually have just finished this week their week on urban forestry. They're doing a bunch of different urban habitats. They were able to add, just in 2 days of field work, really. They were able to add like about 150 trees to our pilot tree inventory that we're just using to help young folks learn about tree inventory. I know that Speak for the Trees has a fantastic program where they have a tree inventory as well, but the more people we can get looking at trees, I think the better. So we're really excited about that. And then our microforest that we planted in association with the Boston Tree Alliance in the spring is looking really good right now. So I would share a picture normally, but I don't have it pulled up right now. But we do have scarlet oak, northern red oak, shagbark hickory. We have gray and white birch. We have black cherry, and all kinds of different trees that are kind of well on their way to accomplishing that 10 times as fast forest regrowth rate that you get in a microforest over here at the Boston Nature Center. So sorry for taking up so much time, but I always have something to share.
No, you never take up too much time, Erica. That's fine. Thank you. Your information is always insightful and helpful. And I look forward to visiting the microforest. All right, Melissa, your hand is up. Hi, good morning. You're on mute.
Yep. Yeah. Good morning. I was just trying to get that off. I'm just inspired by Erica talking about the microforest in Boston. And I wanted to say that just the other day, I walked by the what we call the Miyawaki forest over here in Cambridge that we planted almost 2 years ago. And I can't tell you how amazed I am, even though I was told that this would happen, that the growth would be extraordinary. It is beyond what I imagined. I wish I also could show you a picture, but for some reason I'm not. Anyway, I can't right now, but maybe the next time I will, it'll be even twice as high. But if you ever are in Cambridge, Danahy Park, it's just a fabulous, fabulous forest that is growing there. So.
All right, thank you, Melissa. Appreciate that. Good morning, Bill. I know you just joined us. I'm not going to put you on the spot, just saying good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. Hey, Common Square has a microforest too. It was dedicated last year. Around a year ago, actually. And it's a microforest. It's really a very short, small 5,000 square foot piece of property that was in a pie-shaped, so it was pie-shaped, so it made it really difficult for the city to be able to develop it. So it actually was developed. It has cherry trees, has a little water area, it has a lot of, and a little stone wall in front of it, so that students from Codman Academy can actually take classes in the microforest. So if you're in Codman Square, it's Norfolk Street, almost in Codman, almost at the intersection. And of course, I think hopefully you're going to talk about the decision by the state to move forward with the Franklin Park, the Shattuck Hospital, because I think that's something that really we have to focus on.
Yes, we got that update from Sarah Freeman earlier. Yeah, if there's more conversation about it, it's definitely welcome here. Does anyone want to discuss that right now? Sarah, I saw you clapping, or anyone else want to talk about that? Okay.
I appreciate the mention. If I can just reply to Bill, I think or I hope I can put it in the chat again. The Emerald Necklace Conservancy is hosting a couple of public conversations about that. And DCAM has announced 2 meetings with BMC about their proposal.
All right.
Weirdly, I've been asked to be part of the group that would develop it. So I had to inform them that no, I'm actually opposed to it, but not opposed to it except in Franklin Park. I think there's I think there's a lot of reasons to want to see it look different. Nobody is opposed to increasing the number of services and beds for people who are homeless or people that have substance issues. But the notion that somehow all of them ought to be in one isolated location seems absurd to me. As a person who spent virtually my entire adult life in human services, that's not something that you like to see, is to place people, lots and lots of people that have issues in the same location and isolate them. And I think that that's a big mistake on the part of the state and the city for allowing that. Nonetheless, I think it's a difficult one because nobody's opposed to services, but people definitely would like to see open space added to in the city of Boston as we wind up with the hottest weather in the history of taking records, of measuring temperature. So overall, I think these are important issues, but somehow they ought to be resolved without putting the human service community at odds with the environmental community. They should be the same community. So it's, overall, let's work it out, let's figure it out, but let's not make stupid decisions like eliminating the possibility of restoring parkland.
Great, thank you. Thank you all very much. All right. All right, let me just share my screen and we'll move on to our Speak for the Trees updates. There's a wonderful picture of the Speak for the Trees staff from our Buff Symposium that took place on June 24th. And I just wanted to, there we are. All right. So the Buff Symposium on the 24th of June was amazing. We had 60 attendees in person and virtual show up to the event. Our event was at the Arboretum, the Weld Research Building. Shout out to two of our presenters who were here today, Todd Meester and Erica Holm. They were there, and it was a really great time. A few of the people here online were there as well, and it was really great to have so many different just so many different like speakers and presenters and different people who came to support. I learned quite a bit. I had to go back and watch the video, which we do have on. I can post a link here if you haven't seen it. But it was just a really great time. The theme of our symposium was how to grow together and the urban forest plan and how Boston can become a green city. And these are our list of our presenters who were there. We have Todd, we have Karen Money Broderick, David Jefferson, Salvatore, Genevieve from Boston University, Lee Joshua, who's our education coordinator, Alana Fieser, who many of you know, and Erica Holm. And it was really, I don't really know how many more words I could say about it, but it was just a really great time. We had good food from the fresh food generation. We had an amazing panel discussion. The event, pretty much, these are the key takeaways from the symposium, is that, we all left there with an overall good feeling, inspired, motivated to further connect and contribute to Boston's urban forestry initiatives. And it was just a really great time. I do welcome anyone who was there to actually, make any comments if you want to. Meg was there. I saw Meg and she stayed for a little while. But if anybody would like to make any comments about the symposium before we move on to some more updates, feel free to jump in. That's okay too if you don't. All right.
I just want to compliment the whole staff of Speak for the Trees, how you organized it, kept everybody honest and within their timetable. And, you know, it looks seamless to those of us that were there. I know nothing is ever seamless on the other end, but you certainly made it look that way. So thank you.
Thank you, Celeste. Yeah, of course it was seamless. No problems at all. None at all, right, David? No problems. Appreciate that, Celeste. And it was really great to see you there as well. Yeah, and I definitely I have to shout out our staff. You know, everyone from the I think we had everyone from our entire staff and team was there. Victoria Frothingham is on right now. She's one of the staff who were there, but I think everyone showed up and everybody participated. Everyone was supportive and excited to help out and to be a part of the symposium. I look forward to next year's. We'll probably be even bigger, who knows? But it was when I tallied up all the numbers of everyone who showed up, I was really blown away by the support and you know, how it feels really important to do this work and to have all of you as a part of it. So thank you again, and I look forward to next year's symposium and still learning and growing with you all. So thank you very much for those who came. All right. David, do you have any updates for us? Stop sharing my screen really quick. David, are you there? Okay, I think David was having some connection issues. I don't know. We were going to be joined by our education coordinator, Josh Reed, for an update on our Teen Urban Tree Corps, but he's actually out with the teenagers right now, taking care of trees, cleaning tree pits and watering them. So he's out there doing important work in this weather. All right. 1 second. I think we lost David, but he'll be back. All right. Does anyone else have anything else that they would like to share with us right now? Hey, Erica, go right on ahead.
Hey, I guess I could just drop in the chat a link to a really cool thing that we did June 21st. It was a virtual meeting where we had Professor Akene Ijeoma come and talk about the Black Forest Project, which we've also seen. Someone has come to this group and talked about that before. So I might just put the link to that recording just in case anyone wants to see or hear about a tree planting project commemorating on Black Lives Lost to COVID-19 that's been going on in different cities across the United States. So I know we're the Boston Urban Forest friends, but I think as an urban forester, it always helps to look at other cities, like what are they doing, what's working for them. And I think Black Forest is always looking for partners. So I'll just put the link to that in the chat because it was kind of fun and some people might like to watch if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you, Erica. For those who may not know, Speak for the Trees did partner with the Black Forest Project. We planted 12 trees, I believe, in Lesh Park in Dorchester. We partnered with Friends of the Lesh Park. We partnered with Bold Teens and other community groups in the Common Square area to plant and dedicate 12 trees to Black Lives Lost to COVID. So thank you for bringing that up, Erica. All right. David, it looks like I have you back. Do you have any updates you would like to add?
I don't. Thank you, Jerome.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, David. So it looks like if we don't have any more community updates, we don't have anything else that we really need to cover right now, unless anyone else wants to bring anything up. We are basically I think
we're adjourning. I do have one thought.
Okay.
Well, that oh, are we on open discussions right now?
Oh yeah, that's the next slide. Go right ahead to me.
Well, Darrell, for the past 2 years has done a magnificent job on leading this coalition in these meetings. And I want to open up just a moment of discussion or plant a seed in people's brains about sharing some of that responsibility across other organizations and seeing how this coalition might be strengthened by partnerships. I see people here, but I also see people representing organizations and thinking of the collective here that Darrell has been able to build. What might it look like to distribute some of that thinking, working, coordinating. So I don't have any answers. I do want to say, like, we're happy to facilitate these meetings. There's always strength in collaboration and cross-pollination. So maybe we return to this in the fall. I know there's no meeting in August, but something to chew on for a couple of months, whether that's neighborhood groups or larger organizations.
Sarah, your hand is up. You want to add to that?
Well, sort of a segue. If we're not getting together again until September, hopefully between now and then, there might be some movement on the city's tree ordinance. And I wonder if we could take a moment, and maybe if anyone hasn't been engaged in that, if provide some contact info where they could become part of the support for that effort.
Yeah.
So Alana's not here, I think, but sorry, go ahead.
No, it's a good question, Sarah. I would love to learn more about the ordinance. I feel like I haven't been able to follow like the thread of that, like when the meetings are happening or like when, like where you can access more information about where we are in the process. And maybe like nothing has happened since the last time, but I know there were a few meetings of the Environmental Health as Wealth Coalition, I think it's called. So learning a little bit more about like where are we with that, and how can people engage, or like where can we learn more? I think that would be helpful for me too. So thanks for bringing it up, Sarah.
Yeah, they meet on Tuesday nights. I forget if it's every other Tuesday or twice a month, but
Yeah,
the contact is Alana Feaster. Go ahead, David.
yeah. I was
Sorry.
just gonna say there was a meeting this last Tuesday. You're right. They meet every other Tuesday, I think. And I wasn't able to attend, so Alana did some notes. I don't know if anyone here was there.
Yes.
Celeste, you have, not to put you on the spot, Celeste, but as the representative from the last meeting, that you have an update.
I think the basic update is we're waiting for Councillor Arroyo to set up a meeting with the stakeholders, Arroyo's and his staff, and the administration. So, I mean, there was discussion about fines, there was discussion about adding a sentence here or there, but we're all very aware that the counselor is very much vested in his version, and maybe his version and some changes by the administration. So they're not going to sit there and add everything we want them to add. So I think we're trying to tweak that. But until we have a meeting, we don't know how that will happen. And every month we hear that they want to bring it up by the end of the month, but you know, it's not going to happen this month. And seems unlikely to happen in August, but I don't know.
I know the administration from our conversations with them are really looking to Arroyo to initiate that meeting, that conversation with the administration.
Yes.
And has asked that they don't want to be directly engaged without this counselor. So we've heard that and are kind of find ways to bring parties together. And as we know, like that's been more parties at the table means a lot more difficulty in scheduling and finding time. And I know it's a busy season for some institutions out there as we near an election.
And to make it clear, this is part one of an ordinance. It applies to trees on public lands, street trees, park trees, other city-owned property. It does not go into private trees.
Melissa?
Yeah, I just have a question that actually, when I heard the word elections, I kind of just sort of sat up a little more straight in my seat. I'm wondering if there is a strategy underway through either this group or another group that is working to put trees on a high plane of priority in the upcoming campaign for city councilors and other local elections. And if so, if that's going on, is there a place where those kinds of conversations are being convened? Or I'm just curious as to whether trees are being made a part of the political conversation in terms of the election. That's my question.
I can tell you in District 3, Dorchester, mostly Eastern Dorchester, that the Dorchester Reporter has put together a questionnaire for all the candidates for office that includes trees, environmental questions, and other questions as well. Strongly recommend that work with somebody to make sure that you're getting the information out of candidates as where they stand on various issues, so that people can make their decision. I wish that there would be some way of getting some money out there that would be able to promote answers to questions, like from an environmental perspective, who's good, who isn't, who has better ideas, whatever, and get them out there, because in our municipal elections, we have very, very low turnout. The likelihood of turnout for this preliminary election in September is probably between 10 and 20% citywide. That means like 80 to 90% of the registered voters will not vote in the preliminary election. And in the final election, on a non-mayoral election, municipal election, it's usually 20, sometimes up to 30%, but very seldom. So, 80% of the people won't vote in the election. So if there are people that could be prompted to vote on a particular issue, that could really hold sway on various candidacies. It doesn't take a whole lot of votes to elect people when most people are boycotting it or deciding not to get involved in. So overall, if there's somebody out there that has a pile of money that wouldn't mind spending it on getting information out to the voters on where people stand on environmental issues or trees or whatever, that would be a really good thing to get out there, because there's some people have money, some people don't. I would say that in District 3, the leading person for raising money will probably raise about $250,000. But it really does come down to getting your votes out. And so if anybody has any ideas on who might be able to be tapped for getting information on and who's good in the environment out to the electorate, that would be a good thing.
All right. Thank you all. Any other comments on this subject? All right. Thank you. All right. So we'll probably start. Jacinda. Hi.
Hi, I just want to share about some events happening in the Codman Square area. If anybody's interested, there's a Four Corners weekend event this weekend. It's a yearly thing. Today they're having a fish fry. Saturday they're having a pop-up market, children's festival, and then dining under the stars. And then Sunday it's going to be a religious service and then a closing celebration at the Guild. So if anybody's interested, I will pop the link in the chat. And then for anybody living in the Codman Square area, we do have a Codman Square Climate Justice Alliance that I would love for anybody interested to join. It's a very like general group. Anybody who has any like climate justice issues that they want to see solved, we just tackle them and help people get connected to resources, other community members, or to the representatives. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jacinda. Great. I just may have to take my kids there. I have this weekend into Common Square. All right, and thanks for the link there. Awesome. All right, if there's nothing else for us to talk about right now, we'll probably wrap up our week meeting, and I will see you all. Well, hold on, give me a second. Sorry. There we are. If you wouldn't mind, please, I'll put the link in the chat to take our buff survey. Please let us know what you think, give us your feedback and help us improve. And we will see you at our next meeting in September 8th, 2023. We're skipping over August. It's going to be a busy month for us, so we'll be back in September. And hopefully we'll have some updates for you all, and you'll have some updates for us, for the group. And other than that, I think we are all set. Does anyone have anything else to share, or are we good to go? All right. Well, everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy the summer, and we will see you in September.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you all. Yvonne, are you there? Right.
I just kicked her off.
All
Oh, sorry.
right.
Will you stop the recording?